Someone just did something that no one thought was possible. It's now linked to more than 60 payment methods around the world. That means XRP can now move in real time through the same rails that power the world's banking system, from the US to India to Brazil to the UAE. It's no longer just crypto, it's infrastructure. As you can see, Ripple is building the foundation for global liquidity, and XRP is at the heart of it all. Let's break this down into what it really means, since it's not business advice. For the first time, we can see how Ripple and XRP connect to the biggest fast payment systems in the world. These are systems that already handle trillions of dollars every day. Here's a breakdown of each country. I'll explain how this relates to Ripple's new enterprise network, their huge $1 billion investment through Evernorth, and why so many big players such as SBI and Kraken are positioning themselves around XRP right now. Before we get into the details of the relationships, I want to make a key point. This is how the top 1% are getting ready for the next big XRP cycle. Let's start. It took some time for Ripple to connect to more than 60 fast payment systems. Deep connectivity through its partner Tunes, which runs one of the world's biggest real-time payment networks, is what made it happen. Tunes links more than 130 countries, 80 currencies, more than 320 payment methods, and almost 7 billion bank, wallet, and card accounts. Plus, XRP liquidity can now reach all of these markets in real time, since Ripple's business platform is now built right into Tunes' infrastructure. Really think about what that means. Ripple doesn't have to rebuild every country's payment system from scratch. It only connects to the national instant payment systems that are already in place and are run by state banks. This means that when Tunes adds a new country, Ripple can connect directly through the same network. Tunes is also linked to more than 60 real-time payment systems right now, and every month that number grows. Take a look at an example that was just made public. BRII is the name of Colombia's new instant payment method. The Central Bank of Colombia, Banco de la República, launched BRII. It lets people in Colombia send and receive money quickly between banks, wallets, and fintechs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. More than 30 million people have already signed up, which is about 76% of Colombia's adult population. As of now, Tunes has officially connected with BRII. This makes it possible for Colombia to connect straight to Tunes' global payment network, which already works with Ripple payments. This means that even though the headline of the news didn't say Ripple, the link is already there. Now, XRP can quickly move through the same train and into or out of Colombia's financial system, in more than one country too. In the Americas, Tunes links Ripple to many places such as the US, Canada, Chile, Mexico, Peru, and Brazil. Ripple is now available in Ireland, France, Germany, the UK, Poland, Portugal, and Spain. Almost the whole EU, thanks to SEPA Instant Cash Transfer. When we talk about Asia, we mean places like Australia, India, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. Also in Africa and the Middle East are South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. All of them are linked or merging through Tunes' real-time network. That isn't an idea. People can actually move money through those channels of liquidity. Every single one of these countries already has a way to send and receive billions of dollars every day. Finally, Ripple's tech can connect to it. Just to give you an idea, there is Pix in Brazil, BRII in Colombia, Faster Payment Service in the UK, SEPA and Instant in Europe, UPI in India, PayNow in Singapore, InstaPay, and PisoNet in the Philippines. You can use PromptPay in Thailand, NPP in Australia, or Zelle in the US. All of these are now linked together by the Tunes network, which Ripple has become a part of. This is what Ripple means when they say they're making the Internet of Value possible. The fastest payout technology in the world connects quietly to the payments backbone around the world. That's only the beginning. Over 90 payout markets already accept cross-border payments through Ripple's business liquidity and settlement platform. It was made to connect to national instant payment systems, which means it's ready to be the digital link between banks, fintechs, and central bank payment networks. In the crypto world, everyone is competing to get listed on exchanges or work with NFTs, but Ripple has set XRP up to be the payment layer that connects the world's financial infrastructure. Let's talk about what's driving this next step, because a whole new wave of money is coming in to speed up the use of XRP. Ashish Birla, who used to be the general manager of Ripple, just shared some big news about his new company, Evernorth. It is being built as a public XRP bank. This is the plan. Institutional investors, hedge funds, asset managers, and public market investors will all be able to get direct, controlled, and liquid access to XRP through Evernorth. The goal is for them to keep more XRP over time and buy more XRP with the money they make. It's not an ETF or a trust. This is a long-term funding plan backed by Pantera Capital, Arrington Capital, Ripple, and SBI. That means Evernorth is putting money into more than just XRP. It's meant to gather it up. As it does this, it will remove more XRP from circulation while opening up a lot of it to the public markets. Put that together with Ripple's business side, which is buying up companies that build banking infrastructure. Just in the last 2 years, Ripple has bought G Treasury, Rail, Standard Custody, Medico, and Hidden Road, which is now called Ripple Prime. These decisions aren't made at random. They're planned parts of a puzzle about money. Ripple is creating a full environment for big transactions and quick cash flow, with XRP at its core. Ripple Prime is a key part of that system. It already handles clearing and settlement for more than $10 billion and connects hedge funds and other large clients straight to Ripple's network. Even more, Brad Garlinghouse stated that the companies they work with handle transactions worth trillions of dollars every year. Now they can use the XRP system to settle on-chain. To give you an idea of how big this is, G Treasury manages about $34 billion in cash. Ripple Prime adds $10 billion, and that's before you even think about how much business could move from SWIFT. There could be more than $100 billion worth of transactions on that scale if even a small portion of that moves to Ripple's network. From RippleNet to Evernorth, Thune's real-time network to Ripple Prime's institutional clearing, all of these layers are built on top of the same base. With XRP as the neutral bridge asset, the world can settle its debts instantly. It's not about getting rid of banks. It's about linking them up faster, cheaper, and around the world. Ripple doesn't want to break the system. It's starting to work like that. Things get even stronger here. Ripple's ecosystem now has things like UBX, the universal clearing layer, and Rail, the stablecoin payment system. RLUSD is Ripple's stablecoin that is backed by USD. Together, they make a single financial stack that can connect standard finance and decentralized finance. RLUSD goes through Rail and settles through UBIX. XRP is the invisible layer that keeps the value of the whole system stable and acts as the liquidity engine that ties everything together. In this way, Ripple is quietly creating the first universal settlement network. This network will allow money, tokens, and digital assets to move instantly and across countries using a single system that works with all of them. And it's still early to tell how big this could get, because it will no longer just be about crypto once those institutional corridors start moving volume across XRP trains. It's going to be about world money flow. If you know how RippleNet, Thuns, Evernorth, RL, USD, and Ripple Prime all fit together, you can start to see how a new global payment layer is being built beneath the radar of the financial system. Each part does its own thing. RippleNet offers the messaging and transaction framework for businesses. Ripple Prime lets companies and hedge funds clear and finance transactions with each other. RLUSD is the on-chain settlement currency, which means that the dollar is stable in this new environment. And XRP, which is the bridge asset, moves value between all of these layers quickly and without any problems. This is how sharing works in real life. We have a lot of correspondent banks, settlement houses, and middlemen that money has to go through before it can cross countries. Each step adds time, money, and danger. Ripple's design gets rid of that chain completely. It builds a straight line between different sets of values. The value can be in US dollars, euros, yen, or stablecoins, and it can all move quickly through Ripple's cloud. Check out UBIX, which works as a clearing layer for universal stablecoin refunds, to see how powerful that is. Any participating organization, like a bank, payment processor, or fintech, can treat stablecoins that have been approved as cash and redeem them at face value. RLUSD, Ripple's dollar-backed stablecoin, works great with this plan. As soon as RLUSD is accepted by UBIX's clearing system, it can be redeemed by anyone in the network, just like real cash. This means that a bank in Singapore that uses RLUSD can send money to a partner bank in France, and both banks can see the transaction right away, and there is no risk to either party. The XRP ledger is the final payment layer. It makes the whole process clear and easy to check, and it keeps it almost instantaneous. Ripple's network has grown from a cryptocurrency company that helped people send money across borders to something much more basic, a provider of financial infrastructure for global finance. The difference between how regulators and organizations treated Ripple 5 years ago and now is proof of this. Back then, people were talking about whether XRP could stand up to scrutiny from regulators. People are now talking about how Ripple's ecosystem can work with systems run by central banks and controlled clearinghouses. For example, Ripple Prime, which was made possible by Ripple's purchase of Hidden Road, is more than just a business move. Hidden Road was already a well-known site for institutional traders to buy and sell digital assets. Along with adding it to Ripple, the business was able to provide clearing and settlement services for both standard and digital markets. Additionally, Hidden Road was a part of the Fixed Income Clearing Corporation, FICC. This gives Ripple a way to connect to one of the most regulated and crucial clearing environments in the US. That is a huge step toward truth and size. This means that Ripple can now handle institutional level clearing while still using on-chain technology for the last step of settlement. Another thing this means is that Ripple can now offer clients cross-margining between digital assets and regular markets. For instance, a hedge fund that trades both US RLUSD could be used as collateral for deals in both treasuries and digital assets, making it easy for buyers and sellers to move money between the two markets. When you mix the speed and openness of blockchain settlement with the stability of regulated clearing, you get a hybrid model that could change the way institutions handle capital. This has a clear goal: to make XRP and Ripple Stack part of the way money works. Instead of being on the outside looking in, Ripple is building right into the systems that already run global finance, the same ones that move trillions of dollars every day. The fact that Ripple bought G-Treasury adds another layer. G-Treasury is in charge of more than $34 billion in corporate liquidity solutions. They help big businesses improve their cash flow and treasury processes. By adding Ripple's technology to that, companies could one day use XRP-backed rails to move money around the world in seconds, whether it's to pay suppliers, keep track of their working capital, or settle foreign debts. Add to that standard custody, a regulated trust business, and Medico, a company that stores digital assets for institutions. It's clear that Ripple wants to be a one-stop environment for managing digital assets, settling them, and getting cash. Holding, clearing, transfers, and an on-chain bank. There is one roof over the whole building. This is why Ripple's links with Thunes are so important. Ripple doesn't have to make hundreds of two-way connections because of Thunes. It can use more than 60 national payment methods right away. It's possible for Ripple to connect to Thunes when a central bank in one country does so. Think about this. A business in Brazil needs to pay a Thai provider. Through Pix, the payment leaves Brazil, goes through Thunes on Ripple's liquidity network, and arrives quickly in Thailand's prompt pay system. All of this is done in real time, with XRP powering the transactions below the surface. That's no longer just a thought experiment. There is already the machinery in place to make that happen. It works the same way for faster payments in the UK, SEPA Instant in Europe, and Zelle in the US. There are already billions of people using these tools together. Because they are integrated with Ripple, XRP liquidity can flow through them like an invisible current, linking banks on different countries. This is also a huge step forward for central banks' plans for digital currencies. As countries look into CBDCs, Ripple's technology is already set up to be the layer that lets them talk to each other. Instead of each country building its own CBDC network, Ripple provides a neutral link that enables fast trade between digital money systems. Similarly to how the internet brought together data, Ripple is bringing together the flow of money. And now comes the part that people often miss: the huge amount of people Ripple can reach. The Thunes network connects 7 billion accounts around the world. That's pretty much the whole world's adult population. It works with more than 320 payment methods, such as 120 different types of mobile wallets. These methods are used in both developing and developed markets. Ripple can connect to more than just banks when it plugs into Thunes. It can also connect to wallets, fintechs, and mobile money systems. That's very important for spreading the technology in places like Africa and Southeast Asia, where mobile payments are common. Financial inclusion isn't just a word used for effect, it is the result. Ripple is working to connect banks around the world in real time 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even in emerging markets, with systems like Colombia's BRII. Around 76% of adults in Colombia, or more than 30 million people, can now make and receive instant payments. It's easy to see how a global real-time settlement web is coming together when you know that the same technology is linked to the rest of Ripple's network. This is the kind of infrastructure that makes moving money as easy as writing an email. Instant, clear, and without any borders. Ripple's idea of the Internet of Value is no longer just an idea. The pieces are real, working, and growing faster than most people think. Institutions are linked by Ripple Prime, countries are linked by Thunes, businesses are linked by RippleNet, and everything is linked by XRP. For the United States, where regulations are now clear, the situation couldn't be better. The fact that XRP is legal has made it possible for institutions that had to stay out of the market before to start using it on a big scale. Because of this clarity, companies like Evernorth are using it to put XRP into public markets. Hedge funds and capital firms that used to stay away from crypto are now getting involved through regulated routes that are backed by Ripple's infrastructure. The XRP ledger gets more liquid and busy with each new combination. The network effect gets stronger as Ripple makes more purchases and forms new partnerships. As soon as one bank links up with Thunes, another with RippleNet, and a third with Evernorth, they are all connected to the same web of cash. In the background, that's the quiet change going on. Ripple isn't just linking payment systems, it's also making a single standard for global processing that all of them can use. It gets easier to see the pattern as you zoom out. In the past 10 years, Ripple has worked to solve the most difficult problems in the areas of moving money, rules, infrastructure, and relationships. Now it's putting those ideas to use on a large scale. The next step could be for the XRP ledger to become the invisible settlement backbone of the digital economy. This is possible because institutions are starting to use it, national payment systems are integrating it, and it can work with other systems on different countries in real time. According to ChatGPT, every new thing Ripple does now fits into a bigger plan to create the best value trading network in the world. The pieces are coming together faster than anyone thought they would. Ripple isn't just growing across the board by working with companies like Thunes, it's also growing up by owning the whole financial stack, from managing liquidity to settling transactions on the chain itself. Ripple now controls everything, from keeping assets safe to making sure companies have cash on hand, thanks to its purchases of Medico, Standard Custody, and G Treasury. Also, institutions can now clear and trade through Ripple Prime. These aren't crypto projects that are just for fun. These are enterprise-level parts that are fully regulated and were made to work directly with the current banking system. And now that Ripple has the clear rules it's been working for, doors that were shut before are now wide open. Now, US companies can use XRP without worrying about getting in trouble with the law. One change like this turns adoption on or off because once controlled money gets into an asset, liquidity follows. Take a look at what's going on in Ripple's environment. The stablecoin RLUSD from Ripple lets businesses safely move money between fiat and digital currencies. Rail offers stablecoin transaction lines for business use. The UBX platform clears and redeems stablecoins for all users. XRP offers real-time liquidity, which is the settlement engine that lets everything talk to each other. The scale will be huge when all of this equipment starts moving a lot of money. Just Ripple Prime can handle more than $10 billion in financing and clearing. G Treasury takes care of another $34 billion, and that's not even all of it. As more banks, hedge funds, and corporate treasuries join Ripple, those flows could grow to hundreds of billions of dollars a year going through its lines. Below the surface, XRP is helping with global settlement. Why is this even more powerful? Because Ripple is making the world's most popular instant payment methods work with each other. Pix in Brazil, UPI in India, SEPA Instant in Europe, Faster Payments in the UK, PayNow in Singapore, PromptPay in Thailand, and Zelle in the US are all ways to send and receive money quickly and easily. All of these are now linked because Ripple and Thunes work together. Ecuador's BRII system wasn't just an extra market that Thunes added. 30 million people were able to join to Ripple's global liquidity web. Each combination boosts the impact of the ones that came before it. A payment can now be sent from a fintech in Brazil to a wallet in Kenya, a business in the Philippines, or a bank account in Germany, not in days, but in seconds. That kind of payment compatibility is like the Holy Grail. For decades, central banks and other financial institutions have tried to make global settlement standards, but rules and new technology have always gotten in the way. Ripple's system gets around that problem by providing a neutral bridge asset called XRP and a network that follows the rules. This makes both financial companies and regulators happy. Ripple's technology is also open and flexible, so it can work with new digital currency systems right away. Ripple's platform can help connect more countries that have legalized CBD as they grow. Through Ripple's rails, a digital pound could quickly trade with a digital rupee or peso, while XRP kept the liquidity in check. The end result is a global financial network with no borders at all that moves money quickly, openly, and for almost no cost. This isn't just a guess either. The building blocks are already in place. The curve of adoption is just now coming up to what Ripple has made. Enterprise clients use RippleNet to send money around the world. Financial institutions use Ripple Prime for clearing, and Evernorth is hoarding XRP as a long-term investment. The XRP record is the central hub of the ecosystem and the basis for value exchange. Other crypto projects are still looking for real-world uses, but Ripple is already working at an institutional level, connecting directly to the world's banking systems. It has nothing to do with guesswork. It has to do with size, wealth, and combining things. Every corridor that Ripple opens makes it possible for more people to live on the network. Each new player makes liquidity stronger. XRP's reach as the universal bridge asset grows with every stablecoin or digital currency that links to Ripple's rails. The system builds up over time into something that can't be stopped, a single world layer for moving money. Ripple isn't making a big deal out of it. They are only expanding, integrating, connecting, and growing. The network that was made can now move more value between more countries in real time than any other system in the world. This is the reason why big players are now quietly getting ready, since they know what's going to happen next. Ashish Birla, CEO of Evernorth, said that this is just the start of a long-term build-out. Backers like Ripple, SBI, and Kraken are putting money into expanding XRP's reach around the world. XRP is becoming more useful as Ripple continues to connect instant payment systems, company treasuries, and clearinghouses. It is possible to do more, have more cash on hand, and find more uses for each new combination. Tokenized asset settlement and business finance are just a few of the things that can be done with blockchain.